Okay, good afternoon, fourth graders. We are on our brand new chapter. We're on chapter 4, and you're going to be working on page 197 and 198 today. So go ahead and turn in your book to 197. And again, if you need to ever pause this while I'm talking, just go ahead and pause it. But go ahead and turn to page 197 in your book. This chapter is this first lesson is all about multiples of 10, 100, and 1000. Now, once you're on page 197, you'll see right under that big blue arrow, it says a multiple of a number is the product of that number and any whole number. Any number that is divisible by 10 is a multiple. You can use multiples and number patterns to multiply. It's just a little something extra to kind of help you out, okay? So if you look at example 1, it says the whale shark is the world's largest fish. Its mouth is 5 feet long and contains 600 teeth. How many teeth does a whale shark have? Oh, each foot contains 600 feet. So how many teeth does it have? Okay, so it wants to know 5 times 600, but that's a big number. We haven't ever multiplied anything that big, so we're going to take it back, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to completely ignore those zeros for just a second. So if you ignore those zeros, you have 5 times 6. And that we've done before. That we can do 100%, okay? You can either count by 5s or you can use your 6 multiples. I like to count by 5s because for me that's really easy. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, okay? So 5 times 6, that's 30. Now we're not done because it just told us to find 5 times 600, and we don't have that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 0 to my 6. If I add a 0 here, I'm going to have to add a 0 to my answer. So that means that 5 times 60 is 300. And if I add that final 0, making it those 600 teeth that they were talking about, I have to add another 0 to my answer. That's going to give me 3,000. Okay, did you see how it didn't really change that much? It didn't change that much at all. We started with 5 times 6, which is 30. And we just kept adding zeros. So 5 times 600 is going to be 3,000. So a whale shark has 3,000 teeth. So all we did was take our basic fact of 5 times 6 and added those zeros at the end. Okay, let's try another one. Why don't you go ahead and go to example 2. And I'm going to turn this one right here. I'm going to turn the little page here. I want you to find 3 times 7,000. Again, that is really way too big of a number we've worked with, but we have worked with 3 times 7. So if I just take off those zeros, I can make it a lot easier on myself by just adding those zeros. And just expand it out. So 5 times 7, what is, or I'm sorry, not 5 times 7, 3 times 7, what is that? It's going to be 21. Okay. Now, if I want to expand that, I just have to add some zeros. So if 3 times 7 is 21, then 3 times 70, what am I going to add to the end of that? Another 0. So then if I have 3 times 700, I added 2 zeros at the end of 7, so I'm going to add 2 zeros to 21. It's going to give me 2,100. So finally it wants to ask me what 3 times 7,000 is. How many zeros are added onto that 7 there in 7,000? Looks like 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 zeros to 21. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just took my basic fact and added those zeros on. That makes my life a lot easier. So I want you to think of that when you do your independent practice today. Your independent practice is going to be on 199, okay? So think about that. You don't have to know these big numbers. You just need to know your basic facts. Once you do that, you can add those zeros on to the end. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to ask myself or Miss Bollinger, and we'll see you next time. Bye.